Hi there, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Ask Dr. Jack Show. I am Dr. Jack Bielitz, your host. I'm a chiropractor in Omaha, Nebraska, and as you may have noticed from the background, we are not at the office today. This is what I call my lair. It's my office at home where I seek to do everything I can to give people the information that they can use to make intelligent decisions rather than just lockstep with what somebody tells you to do without any extra information. So that's what this episode is all about. We are on the subject of diabetes today. And if you know anything about the office at all, you realize that we do a lot of work with diabetes, prevention and everything like that. Very big focus on what we do at the office here. And so this particular article was on whether or not sleep has any significant input into getting or not getting a diabetes diagnosis. Now, this is a fairly large study that was done over 15 years. They studied 1,000 men that were between the ages of 40 and 70. So it's a very significant study. And they divided the men into 5 different groups: those that slept less than 5 hours of sleep, those that got 6, 7, 8, and then more than 8 hours of sleep. And the results were rather interesting. Believe it or not, the people that got that 7 hours of sleep was the group that had the least chance of getting diabetes. If you slept less than 6, your chances of getting diabetes were significantly increased. And that makes sense, because if you don't get enough sleep, you can cause a lot of stress in your life, and stress leads to all kinds of problems that will eventually potentially lead to the problems that develop diabetes. However, what is really interesting is the fact that those that slept more than 8 hours of sleep had an even greater chance of getting diabetes than those that slept less than 6 hours. As a matter of fact, according to the study here, if you slept more than 8 hours of sleep, you had a 20% greater risk of getting diabetes during your lifetime. So kind of interesting. Now, what they're attributing that to is that if you sleep more than 8 hours, chances are your sleep is not very good. It's not very deep, and so therefore you need more. So that's obviously an issue that if people have it, it needs to be addressed. Now, I can tell you that very exciting work that we do at our office called Network Spinal Analysis does some amazing things at helping the brain relax and can really be a benefit to that type of person that is having those kind of problems. I find it much more successful than those that go in for CPAP masks and things like that. This type of work does a much better job from the experience that I've had at the office here. Anyway, that right there is the end of another exciting episode of the Ask Dr. Jack Show. I'm very glad you're with us today. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at askdrjackb, that's BEE, at gmail.com. Or you can call the office at 402-333-4848. That's the same number that if you'd like to make an appointment to see if we can maybe help you with your sleeping, you can use that also. Or stop into the office and ask your question in person. Remember, Dr. Jack Bielitz here, chiropractor in Omaha. Not here to give medical advice, but to give you information that you can use to make intelligent decisions for your life. Have an absolutely excellent day, and I'll see you in the next episode.